Hello there. Welcome back to Sequel-A-Thon 4. I'm Scotty, and you are not. Before I begin, we are talking about Roadhouse 2 from 2006. I want to point out, was Jonathan Sketch the guy that they got to do direct-to-video sequels there? Because, look at here, you got 8mm 2, sequel to the one with Nicolas Cage, which I haven't reviewed yet. I will. I have it, so there. Jonathan Sketch is there too. Skate, whatever. Yeah. Jonathan Skate, you may know from the Prom Night remake, which I still say is better than the original. Suck it. Okay? The original was boring. Has an uninspired plot and is kind of stupid with the reveal. And, maybe it's because the Prom Night remake is more of my generation. I don't know. I just said the early 80s movies don't really get me. Mid to late 80s, sure. But like 84 on. Again, I must tell you that my air conditioner is on because it's hot. So just keep that in mind. You can see my clock now. Going back and forth. I cleared that off. I'm rearranging stuff in there. I need to overrun. Move things, Yes, Roadhouse 2. Not as bad as you would think. I don't remember that, or maybe that's the kickboxing. Not as bad as you would think. The confusion comes from, you have Jonathan Sketch playing the character of Shane Tanner, the son of Dalton from the first film. And if you're looking at this going, wait, this is supposed to be the son of Dalton and the woman from the first film. No, it is not. I did my math on this, so I looked it up. Jonathan Sketch and Patrick Swayze were only 17 years apart, which means that Dalton would have been 17 when he was born, when Shane was born. So, the only thing I think of, and we knew that Dalton had some sort of a past, right? So he knocked up someone when he was in high school. Yeah, because no one in the last film was named Tanner, and Jonathan Sketch was too old to have been born after, because that film came out in 1987, which means that they would have been younger than me, and I was 19 in 2006. So, yeah, he ain't no younger than 19 here. I think he's like in his early 30s. What would have been, I think, but yeah, he's the same age as my mom, actually. But I think Jonathan Sketch, whatever, does a good job with this character. They went up, so they didn't go as far as the new Dalton, Jake Gyllenhaal's Dalton in the new one, and straight out make him this world-class MMA fighter. But he is a DEA agent, which just calls back to Point Break. I'm an FBI agent. No, he's a DEA agent, and he's the nephew of the guy who owns this bar called the Black Pelican, the Wild Pelican, Black Pelican. And the thing is, there's this guy named Wild Bill, played by Jake Busey. Sorry, my belt is starting to hurt me. It happens when you're fat. Who's trying to buy this bar, the Black Pelican, because it's prime real estate and he can sell his drugs to both sides because it's in Louisiana. So, yeah. So that's our villain, Wild Bill, played by Jake Busey. And as a villain, I think Jake Busey does a good job. I think I've always liked Jake Busey. I cite The Frighteners as one that I would look upon, and Tomcats. Very much Tomcats as a movie if you want good Jake Busey. And I follow him on Instagram, and he seems like a good guy. He's taking care of his dad, Gary Busey. He's got mental problems and stuff, and he's not all there, but he can help him, I wish my son would make me chocolate ice cream and Oreos. But, yeah, I think he does a good job. There's also another villain, this Victor guy. They also throw in this mystery of they do what should be the cardinal sin of sequels. They kill off the main character. You know, it's either kill him off or don't bring him back. And I almost prefer if they just didn't bring him back instead he was retired somewhere. I don't even think that Patrick Swayze had passed away yet, but they just didn't bring him back. You gotta believe this is before he passed away, or they wouldn't have done this movie out of respect for him. But yeah, as soon as the movie starts, you know they're trying to copy elements. We start off in the bar, random bar fight, and then you have this band playing, which is clearly supposed to imitate the Jeff Healey band, especially when the only scene in this movie where the main guitar player has shades on, the main singer and guitar player, he's the main guy, the lead singer, has shades on, singing. You're supposed to think, oh, he's blind, but then he does not have them on for the rest of the movie, and he's just fine for what we've seen. But yeah, it's very much supposed to have the music playing throughout the movie. It's very supposed to be that Jeff Healey band type situation. It's more country than the blues of Jeff Healey's, but yeah. So we meet Nate Tanner, played by the great Will Patton. You may know him from Halloween or the Swamp Thing TV series that got canceled for no good reason. And he runs this bar. He is Shane's uncle. I'm assuming he is the brother of his mom. He's not Dalton's brother. His last name's not Dalton. Yeah. And Dalton didn't have any family in the last one, so yeah. But someone calls him and says you need to learn who to trust within your organization and tell him to meet him somewhere. And it's a trap by Wild Bill. He gets beaten up and sent to the hospital. And Shane is called and decides to abandon his DEA duties and go there. He basically tells his commander or the guy in charge off, but then later asks for his help anyway and gets it. Yeah. So he shows up basically like Dalton did in the first one and takes over this place. You know. He also meets a woman whose name we don't know till later. Her name is Bo. Yeah, Bo. No, I said no, Bo. No. This is not Dukes of Hazzard movie. But yeah. We see that she's like sneaking around and stuff. And you're kind of questioning if she's working for Wild Bill, and they do that on purpose to make you think that, and this is revealed they're cousins. And she really doesn't have any allegiance to him, because I think at first she did, but then like she starts to fall for Tanner, so it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna call him by his last name because that's what I did with Dalton. So, but with Dalton, they didn't reveal his first name. It's only in the credits that it's James Dalton. He's just Dalton. And the name is Dalton here, so I'm going to call him Tanner. So, yeah. So, one of the bouncers or the coolers, I should say, is working for Tanner. Like, working for Wild Bill. Because after Nate is put in the hospital, they come in and start stirring shit, and he's just kind of standing there smiling at it. And one of the other bouncers is like, hey, come on, what are you doing? You gotta do your job. Nate's not in charge anymore. It's still his bar, you know? Yeah. As it goes for the other coolers, there's no one like a Terry Funk or even what's his name? Sarsaparilla. Sam Elliott. There's no Sam Elliott here. It's, you know, they're like maybe the background actors that they got in. I don't recognize any of these actors that play the other coolers, but yeah, they go over the rules, much like in the first one. Always be nice, take it outside, all that stuff. My hand is itching. Sorry. Something. Skin irritation. Yeah, and as he gets closer with Bo, she moves further away from her cousin. And then shit hits the fan towards the end. When Wild Bill realizes he can't just buy this place, so he's gonna kill everyone and hope the bar will just default to him. It's like when he finds out that Nate's after Nate's put in the hospital, he comes in, like I said, acting like he owns the place, like it's just gonna go to him. Yeah, and I had this Victor guy who's this, like, meanie villain. Like he shows up in the middle of the film, like a couple times start in the middle, whatever. He's on Bill's on the phone with him. He shows up at the end, just to reveal he was the one who ordered Dalton's death. And that Wild Bill did it. He ordered Wild Bill to kill Dalton. Because when Tanner was a state trooper, he arrested this guy on drug possession. Ruined everything. If that ain't the most convoluted way to tie together a villain, it made my head hurt when I'm trying to think. I'm like, wait. These two random ass guys that have connection to his uncle, an uncle who's not related to Dalton in any way, shape, or form other than through Tanner. These random ass guys who just went to buy this bar to sell drugs are connected to this in the most minuscule way because of a traffic stop that busted him for drug possession. I don't know, it's a little confusing to me. Like, I would have been fine if we never found out who killed Dalton. If it was like, if at the end he's like, well, I solved one thing, but I still got another. I need to find out who killed my father. I may never know, and that's fine. Maybe this whole thing, talks about obsession. How Wild Bill and Victor were obsessed with buying this to do their thing, and he's been obsessed with finding his father's killer. Maybe by the end, he just lets it go. Maybe he learns that obsession is not the way to go, and to just let it go. I don't think we needed to tie everything up in a pretty little bow. Like, hey, these random ass bad guys who are doing this, they killed Dalton. There's a connection. It just it didn't sit well with me. If you want some TNA, there's some of that in there. You get some boobies, There's like a strip club and stuff. You get some tits. It's fine, There's no gratuitous sex scene in the hot tub like in the first one, or the lake or whatever it was that they do it in. I don't think it was the lake. There's too many germs on a lake. You can't do that in a lake. But there's sort of a sex scene. Like he gets a call. Like, you really start to question if she's in on it when he gets a call saying there's something going down at the Black Pelican, and then she immediately seduces him and they have sex, and then after they're done, he's like, I gotta go, and then he realizes something's up afterwards. Like, hey, you distracted me. I did it to protect you. And she's got like a shotgun. She's a school teacher. And then she's got a shotgun, and he's like, Girl Scouts? By the way, she's like, she was a Girl Scout, and then there's this other girl that they kind of have a bit of rivalry. She's like, she was a brownie. Girl Scouts hate brownies. It's the same thing! Brownie is a rank of the Girl Scouts. I know, my sister was one of them. Brownies are Girl Scouts. I don't think the writer knew what the Girl Scouts, about the Girl Scouts. They just threw that in. Brownies are Girl Scouts. And it's also interesting that they could use Girl Scout, because most things they just come up with their own, like, own names for them. Don't call them Girl Scouts, they call them something else. But yeah, no, I'll give this the middle of the road. It's fun. I could see myself maybe doing a back to back of the first one and this one. Actually, it's not that bad. In fact, you know what? Screw it. I'll give it a low, pretty good. Because I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked it. I like cop movies, and there's some cops in there. There's pretty good action. I don't know if it's Jonathan Scatch doing it, but just the Tanner character in the action. There's like a roundhouse kick and stuff. I don't know if he's doing it. Probably a stunt double. I don't know, but there's pretty good fight scenes in this. Probably not as good as the original, of course, but you're never gonna beat Roadhouse. But this is not bad. As direct-to-video bargain big sequels go, it's one of the better ones. You know, I think a lot of people, hating on this, were like, "Oh, they killed Dalton off screen." It also confuses me that Patrick Swayze would do a cameo in the Dirty Dancing prequel, but not this one. Like they couldn't. They do a flashback, and it's clearly not Patrick Swayze's voice telling him to fight. It's someone else with a country voice, which not really what he had, But yeah, it's fun. I gotta go. I got a live stream to get to. So, what are your thoughts on not mine? I'm not doing it. It's someone else's live stream. What are your thoughts on Roadhouse 2? Let me comment so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.